Before we go to data collection method, we should understand the difference between primary data and secondary data. The primary data, it's a fresh data. It is a original data. It is collected by the researcher or investigator. It is a costly one. It is directly suitable to your study. There is a possibility of biasness, personal prejudice. But in secondary data, it is computation of existing data compiled by person other than who collected, less costly. Sometimes it may not be suitable, but there is no possibility of biasness. Now we'll move on to methods of collecting primary data. Broadly speaking, there are 4 methods of collecting primary data: interview, schedule, observation, and questionnaire. Now we'll move on to different types of interview. Interview, there are 9 different types: structured, unstructured, individual, in-depth, focus group interview, panel interview, clinical interview, repeated interview, telephonic, computer assisted interview. Now we'll see one by one. Structured interview, in which researcher prepare questionnaire and decide the sequence before the interview. Researcher prepared everything before the interview. It is a structured one. Unstructured, just an opposite to structured. It is not predefined. The researcher asks question according to the situation and environment. That is unstructured. An individual in-depth interview, the interview of one respondent at a time. This interview proved very useful in getting in-depth knowledge. Individual in-depth interview are time consuming because only one person at a time, you will get a lot of information, but it is time consuming. This group interview, it consists typically 8 to 10 members with the moderator leading the discussion for about nearly 2 hours on a particular topic, aimed at obtaining respondent impression and interpretation and opinion, keeping the members on track. Here, big plus point is you can get unstructured, spontaneous response, and also it reflects genuine opinion, ideas, and feeling of the members. It is used for exploratory study, making generalization it is possible here, and you can conduct sample survey. Example, in business, why certain products are not doing well, why certain advertising strategy are effective, why specific management technique don't work for everything. You are exploring something new information. This focus group interview is widely helpful. We'll move on to another interview, panel interview. Focus group meet for one time, whereas panel meet more than once. It has 2 types, static and dynamic. Same members serve on the panel over extended period of time. Static. Dynamic panel member change from time to time. I'll give an example: National Purchase Dairy panel, National Family Opinion panel or the example. Next one is clinical interview. It is like a focused interview. Personal history used in social case work. Prison administration, psychiatric clinic, individual life history research are the most common type of clinical interview. It is widely used in 2 places. One is prison administration and another is psychiatric clinic. The next one is repeated interview. The researcher wants to study the progressive change in the attitude under varying condition. Example, poll campaign, once in 5 years, information collected from the public about the state. Next is telephonic interview. Researchers search telephone numbers of people and contact them to get the information. These interviews are very convenient for the researcher as they save traveling cost and time. The next one is computer assisted interview. It has 2 types: computer assisted telephonic interview, computer assisted personal interview. Computer assisted telephonic interview, a computer system is connected with the telephone of the interviewer. The question appear on the screen of the computer and the interviewer asks those questions through telephone. In computer assisted personal interview, the interviews can administer their interview themselves with the help of software installed in their system. They can directly feed their response in the computer system. So these are the various types of interview. Now we'll move on to different types of schedule. It is usually applied to a set of questions which are asked and filled by interviewer in a face-to-face situation with another person. First one is inquiry, used mostly for knowing income, expenditure, literacy, occupation, place of residence. It is collected by the researcher to the field workers. Why they are moving from one place to another, their literacy level, the occupation, everything, it is collected through inquiry. Observation. Schedule is used in direct observation or direct interview filled in by the researcher himself. So observation, the questions, everything, it is filled by the researcher himself. A rating, here we are using ranking or scaling technique to collect information from the respondent. Documentary, written document like case history, diary or official record or autobiography are used here. An interview schedule, it's a formal interview essential to collect illiterate person. Formal interview essential to collect illiterate person. So types of schedule means which are asked and filled by the researcher himself. It has 5 types: inquiry, observation, rating, documentary and interview scale. The following are the discussion questions. Find out which type of interview, why certain products are not doing well. Specific management techniques don't work. Studying individual life history research. Find out which type of interview. Any clarifications? Please command me. Before we end this session, we'll do small recap. There are 4 methods of primary data collections: questionnaire, observation, interview and schedule. An interview alone, it has 9 different types. And in a clinical interview, it is used in psychiatric clinics or prison administration. Individual in-depth interview, it's time consuming. Focus interview, it is used for exploratory studies. Repeated interview, it is used for poll campaign. Nowadays, corporates are using computer assisted telephonic interview for selecting candidates. There are 5 types of interviews: inquiry, observation, rating, documentary and interview schedule. As a researcher, we should understand the functions of different interview and schedule. Next, part 2, let us discuss about different types of observation and methods of questionnaire. Thank you for watching.